Okay, so up here by the bobtail propane tank is one corner of this new high fence pen that I'm putting in. You can see the fencing down here by the new plow truck, but I have to have two separate pens. One of the requirements by the state of Idaho is that we have two separate pens so the animals can be separated and inspected and doctored and all the things that comes with having animals. So first step is I'm going to get all the corner posts in, and then I got to get this done over the next week or so, and then get the animals up here. That's the thing that I'm kind of most looking for. I've been talking to my wife and kids about this for over a year now, and I think they think that it's a bit of a pipe dream. So I'm really excited to take the next step with this.
Thank you to Policy Genius for sponsoring today's video.
We've always had life insurance. Even when we were very first married, this is something that's been very important to us. Life insurance gives us the peace of mind that if something should happen to either one of us, that there's money there to cover the expenses.
With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million in coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Even if you have a life insurance policy through your work, it may not be enough coverage that your family needs. And then if you leave that job, your life insurance policy may not go with you.
Policy Genius knows your time is valuable, so they use technology that makes it easy to compare quotes from America's top insurers with just a few clicks.
Their licensed agents help you find the best fit at the lowest price. They work for you and not the insurance company, so you can trust their guidance.
Your loved ones deserve a financial safety net. You deserve a smarter way to find and buy it.
Head to policygenius.com/redpoppyranch or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save.
Well, we got a couple of days of rain this week, which means I'm doing drywall out in the bedrooms in the shop. And I've only got the downstairs bedroom and the upstairs bedroom and the bathroom left to finish. And then all of the drywall is done out in the shop. Because I've already had my electrical inspection, I only need to get the top out inspected in the bathroom, and then I can close up all the walls with drywall. But in the meantime, I'm going to do everything I can to get the drywall finished, and I can hang the drywall in the downstairs bedroom without any conflict with the plumbing inspection. We're going to try and keep everything fairly basic out here in both of these bedrooms, but obviously the theme is farmhouse. And we're going to have some fun with some corrugated tin and some old antiques once I get the drywall and the paint completely finished. The idea behind having 2 bedrooms and a bathroom out here in the shop means that when we have friends and family come stay with us, Our life doesn't change a whole lot in the house, and we can comfortably put friends and family up out here, regardless of what time of year it is. With the insulation and the propane heat out here in the shop, it's not going to take a whole lot to keep it warm, even if it is 10 below zero outside. And as much as I love burning wood in the fireplace, having propane out here in the shop makes things much easier and much more convenient. The downstairs bedroom drywall is all hung and in place. Now it just needs to be textured. We may name this room up here the bunkhouse because it's going to be filled with bunk beds. This is going to be the room that's more about sleeping than it is about looks, but a place where a bunch of people can sleep and sleep well. So once all the drywall's finished, I got to track down a few bunk beds and make it look like a bunkhouse in here. You can see the vent on the wall that needs to be inspected before I can cover it with drywall, and that's ultimately why I haven't finished the drywall out here in the shop, as I'm waiting for the plumbing inspector to show up. But once the drywall is finished in this bedroom, I'm going to cut an opening into the attic, climb up in there, and blow in a whole bunch of insulation, and that will make sure the shop is nice and toasty on those cold winter nights. So this is where I chose to put the attic access. It'll end up being a 2 foot by 2 foot opening, which will be plenty big. Before our latest rainstorm came through, I managed to get a few of the corner posts set for the new high fence pin. These initial posts I'm putting in the ground 3 feet deep. All of the rest of the posts will be right about 2 feet deep, and again, all of these posts I have put through my special treatment process before I put them in the ground. If a guy like me had a perfect scenario in which to build a high fence pen, I can tell you it wouldn't be up here on our property. It would be on a very flat piece of ground that's heavily grassed and easy to access. And again, most of that we don't have here. But I'm still going to make the best of this, and I'm going to make it work one way or the other. But had I known what I was getting into, I would have done it anyway.
Where's Ruby at? Is Ruby up here? There's Ruby. You're a good dog, Willie. You're a good dog, Willie. You're a good dog. Yes, you are. You're a good dog, Ruby. Come on, Ruby. Come here.
I briefly mentioned this in a past video, but I have to have 2 separate pins to meet the state of Idaho standards when it comes to high fence pins. And the smaller pin only needs to be big enough to maybe separate and work on the animals without the conflict of other animals. Once Cedar and I made the decision to go forward with this, I spent a lot of time on the internet reading and studying and trying to figure out if this was really something I should be doing. And I'm still not sure if I should be doing this, but the bottom line is we're in too deep to quit now. As I'm working on getting all of these posts set and the fence installed, these next few weeks should be pretty interesting as we get the animals delivered up here and try to figure out what we just got into.
This house meets all the requirements, 2018 TRC, and is
You know what that is?
ready for occupancy.
That's the standards, the codes in which our county inspects. That's the standards by which the house had to be built. So we're sitting here looking at what is called, I guess technically, a certificate of occupancy that was given to us by the county once we got our final inspection on the home. Typically, a certificate of occupancy is connected to a mortgage or a bank in a loan. And because we built the house without having to go through that process, or frankly, because nobody would give us a loan, I didn't forget about it. I called for the final inspection. I'm good friends with the local inspector.
At the time, the road was horrific.
That's what he said.
And he was like, okay, We had a few little simple things to do, like we needed our address put in a visible location, which is standard for every single home.
Yeah.
Just for
If somebody ever, you have to have a visible address if you ever have a need for emergency vehicles. And so we did everything, but more than anything, I just kind of spaced it. And there was a couple of times that Cedar said, hey, should we not get that final inspection? And the truth is,
as soon as I said that, then it would rain, then we'd have mud. And they're like, oh, we'll call next week when it dries out.
And
then
let's just say a little bit of time went by. I got a letter at the beginning of summer. I got a letter from the county. We got a letter from the county saying, look, if you don't get this final inspection done, we're going to charge you more fees to keep the permit open, because technically the permit was overdue for more fees. So I called the local inspector. He came up. He wasn't even sure why he was here. I was out working in the shop, and he assumed he was inspecting something out in the shop. And he's like, "What am I here for?" And I said, and I just told him. I reminded him that we had never done that last walkthrough.
Don't you apply for all these things online?
Most counties,
the
not so much here. Yeah,
Don't you apply online and then they come up
for
right?
state inspections.
Oh.
When he came up and when I took him through the house and he looked everything over, to me, I'll tell you what was different. The first time that I called him for the final inspection, all that we had finished was one bathroom and one sink, because technically to get a certificate of occupancy, I think you only have to have one bathroom finished, and I don't remember what it is, and I'm sure this is different in every county, but when he walked through the house, now the house is done. And so it put a smile on his face. He gave me a piece of paper, gave us a piece of paper. And what happened by getting that final inspection is we went from having a piece of land to having a single family dwelling. And we can sell it as a single family dwelling. Otherwise, technically, without getting that final inspection, it's just a piece of raw ground. And so that's ultimately what...
But we're not selling either.
No, that's not, that's not. And so anyway, we officially have a single family dwelling.
And he was able to get up the road. You didn't add that part. The road finally was dry enough that he was able to, dry enough and clear enough that he made it up here, and you didn't have to go pull him out.
So at this exact moment, that to me, the hardest inspections are always state inspections, because I guess in theory, the state may not be as lenient as maybe, I'll say this about our local inspector. He helped me a ton through the process. I just was so inexperienced with so many things that he just said, look, this is the best way to do it. And when I made mistakes, there was a couple of mistakes I made in the early days that he helped me figure out. So at this exact moment, we're actually waiting for the very last inspection on the shop bathroom before I can button the walls up. And we ironically have a horrible road at the same time. So
a big rainstorm come through again.
Yeah, and so
it's normal for this time of year, but
I thought he would have come already, but I'm actually kind of glad that he didn't. But in the meantime, we're stuck. So we just wanted to make a quick video of talking about this final inspection, and we never really talked about it.
It's just a happy day in our house. Anyway.
But the irony is, the other day, one of our friends down in Arizona, who's a realtor, made the comment on social media that he had sold the same house 6 times.
I think so.
A reminder that people just don't hang on to stuff. And so, yeah, I'd love to hope and think that I'm not going to be able to sell this house. It'll be you selling it, or our kids.
I told you the only way I'm moving out of here is in a pine box.
In a pine box?
Yep.
Anyway, because it seems like just yesterday, but we're rapidly approaching 10 years. They call it a decade.
Jeez.
Anyway.
A lot.
Anyway. Deep thoughts.
It's been a heck
from
of a
shallow
ride.
mind. Yeah. Okay, I have spent the last couple of days, because it's been raining again. I've spent the last day and a half getting everything finished up as far as the plumbing inspection is concerned. And I am now going to pressurize the water line that comes from the stop and waste valve outside. I've never turned that on to this side of the shutoff valve. So I have to turn that on. I have to pressurize the water lines. and then I have to fill up the sewer line to get the top out inspection done. Once I have all that in place, I'm going to call for the inspection, and then I can close these walls up in this bathroom down here. But I want to turn that stop and waste valve on so I can check for leaks. There we go. There it is. All the way. Okay, we don't have any leaks. Everything looks really good down here. I have the water line tied into the sewer so I can fill up the sewer system. It has to have at least 15 feet of pressure. What I'm gonna do is just fill it all the way up out of the vent. And once I know water's coming out the vent, I know it's full. So there we go. Okay, we got water coming off the roof, which means the vent is full. Using that washing machine hose, I filled up the entire vent system, and it's holding test just fine. The water lines are all under test, so they're doing good too. I think it was at 65 psi. Before I blow in any insulation up here in the attic above the shop, I need to make sure I get all the ventilation squared away, and the bird block is not enough. So I've had a couple of galvanized louvered vents waiting for me to get up there and get them installed, and because it's raining outside, today's the day. So this is where the first louvered vent for the shop attic is going to go. Once I get this louvered vent installed on this side, I'm going to go around to the other side of the shop and install a second louvered vent. And then I might even do the last one on the house before the day is over. This is the location of the second vent for the shop attic. If I can get a few more projects done, I'm going to get the siding on the back of the shop finished up. But I know my wife would rather have the siding on the house stripped and restained before I do this. But either way, I'm installing the louvered vent in a way where I can slip the board and batten siding back behind it when I do the siding. And everything was going along great until a yellow jacket got me on the neck. It felt like a good day to check a few things off the proverbial list, so I got the vent on the back of the house that's been waiting for me for a while. I got the louvered vent installed there as well. Do this, and I'm just going to go hang the drywall out there in the bedrooms and try and get it totally done. I'm guessing that inspector's not coming today. So. Love you.
Love you too.
Have fun. Can I eat more of these carrots or no? Are they still not quite ready?
I mean, they'll just get bigger. I mean, I'm sure they're ready, but they'll just get bigger the longer you leave them in there.
We again wanted to say thank you for taking time to watch our videos. We appreciate it. It means a lot to us. We will see you with an update in about 7 days. Be safe out there.